Hi everyone, this is Susie from Minnesota Zone 4, and I'm going to show you what my containers look like. It is September. I had done a video last week. I'm trying to get one done in August, but it ended up getting too long, and the sound quality was really horrible. The wind was just blowing that day, and the cicadas were nuts. So I'm redoing it. Hopefully this one's a little bit shorter. So now it's a September one. I can't believe September's here. Summer went way too fast. In this container I have Gara and the red phlox. We've had some strong storms and some winds the other night, so the rain was going sideways. My arch blew over. So things are a little bit messy, but I had a long stretch of work too, so I couldn't get in my gardens and clean things up before this. Over here is, I think it's evolvulus. I had to move this container around a lot with the remodel going on, so it's not looking as good as I wanted it to. But all in all, I am very pleased with this. This was amazing at one point, so I do recommend the red phlox there. And the Gara, I love how airy that is. Okay, enough chatting. Like I said, the last video got way too long. I think it was over an hour. There's a type of Canna in there. I have sweet potato vine. You can see I'm going to get close up. Lots of bug damage. First it was green caterpillars, which I was spraying for a number of times, and I got it under control. Then it was katydids. Far away it looks good. I will keep a journal, and which will help me remember which plants I want to plant next year. I might not do sweet potato vine. I love how that's filled out, but lots of bug damage. But I do like the contrast of the foliage. This one's a little bit better, not quite so damaged. We've had some cooler days, and the nights are definitely dropping down too. I have a feeling we're due for an early fall. I had to cut off the bloom on this because the winds one day was at least 30 miles an hour, and it looked like the plant was just going to bust. I like how everything looks, if you want to say cohesive, the colors. And I'll do a little more in-depth there when I do my garden tour. I also did a film that day too, and sound quality was just horrible. So I'm redoing every one. And then when I went to do the vegetable tour, my battery died. This container was whipped around a little bit by the wind. It still looks really good. Because the nights are dropping down, I'm going to start taking cuttings of all my coleus and try to overwinter them. I don't know if I can show you in here. All in all, it doesn't look too bad. I love the combination in here. The other thing is next year I'm going to keep a rec or two. Less is better. I would not have needed these sun patiens in there. That pop of color is nice, or I could do less coleus. It's just this is a huge planter, so I am finding that the containers I have less in have gotten a lot bigger. Oops. My little ant dudes down here. Oh, they're stuck together. Sorry, I just saw this. I have to be careful because when I'm mowing, I definitely don't want to get that in the lawnmower. One's been stepped on. They blend in with the soil. Okay, Okay, I moved the container over there into the other spot where the bleeding heart went dormant. Oh, the peace and quiet. Just love it. And even the cicadas are kind of quiet today. This is just one plant in here, Plectranthus. I had some begonias and this did take over. I was expecting it to, but for the time being, the begonias did look nice. But this is, I think it's also called a Swedish ivy. I could be wrong, but there's a scent to it. I like it. I was moving it and I'm like, what is that smell? And I think this in a hanging basket will look absolutely gorgeous. Because, I mean, you can see it definitely trails. But when you think there's just one plant in there, it's amazing. Wandering Jew has done amazing. It's touching the ground. Get some close-ups in here. I'm loving this whole planter this year. But even I was thinking doing something like the Plectranthus over here. I love the Tahitian bridal veil, so I don't know, but it would add just a break up that darker color. But I do love all of this. It's just filled in so nicely. And then I've been training this Rex Begonia vine to kind of stay in an umbrella form. I really like it. I will be seeing if I can overwinter some of this. It's hard because I will end up bringing a lot of bugs in. Last year in my plant room, I had some huge issues with fungus gnats. My flowers did good, my vegetables suffered. Leftover caladiums that I put in here around an elephant ear. Elephant ear, I think, is stunted. I think, I have a feeling that it's root bound. I started that one inside, and it's doing okay. It's putting out some new leaves. But all in all, it's not as big as I was expecting to. The bulb on that was massive. Should be bigger. This canna here is called Lucifer. It's done blooming. I might get a few here and there, but I started this inside a little early. And I'll show you. Later season, I get way less sun over here. Lots of slug damage on that, so I love the Abyssinian banana. This has to be my favorite plant of the year. I will do this again next year. I mean, these are huge. And I have it in this spot, so it's a little more protected from the wind so it doesn't tear. But I just love that. And there's always a new leaf coming up. Maybe not so much anymore when these temps are getting cooler. Asparagus fern planted in there. I'm thinking I'll do the banana again next year. But lemon coral sedum I think will look nice around here. That'll fill in. I love the canary wing begonias. But you can see when I'm looking down from my kitchen window too, you can just see how massive these leaves are. But it's poking over in the kennel area. I have seen slugs on it, but no damage. I just keep flicking them off. I just want to get this one real quick. And this one is my turtle. His name is Sheldon. And I just had extra caladiums. And they've done really good in there. I really like this. I just have one red one in there. For some reason, the squirrels have really liked digging up my caladiums this year and placing them in areas. And I think it's this spot right here, because that's all bare. Ooh, it's a little chilly this morning. Way too chilly for me. If you can see this, I know this is in the sun here. Sorry, I got distracted by the neighbors. This is another Plectranthus, Velvet Elvis. I love the underside of the leaves. They're purple. And I am surprised that I still have blooms, because I would say this gets, if you want to say, dappled sunlight throughout the day. More in the morning, so hummingbirds love it. Houseplant mixture. I think there's an ivy, wandering Jew, and Tahitian bridal veil. Most of these containers I have not had to water at all. I've just had to fertilize. That's how much rain we've had or how humid we've been. Oh, this one looks a little wind-tossed. But when it's this late in the season, and September is a little bit late for my zone, I would say in about 2 weeks here, things are going to start looking really tough. I hope not. But I have a feeling the warm temps are done. Those are just caladiums in here that I had left over. And I'm glad it was the red ones, because that really looks good with the dragon wing begonias. And back here, I love this begonia. The Diamond Mountain didn't do what I expected it to do, but Diamond Mountain is a slow grower. And I think it's almost a plant best left on its own. I'm not sure if it just doesn't like the combination. I mean, you can see some peeking up in there. I also am thinking about getting a bigger pot for that area, because I think that's only a 14-inch container. There's 4 plants in there. That's too many. Another begonia in here. They're definitely liking the cooler temps. The coleus looks amazing. It's just huge. Like I said, all my coleus, sorry about my shadow, I'm going to be taking cuttings of. Creeping Jenny, I just have to be careful that it doesn't root in there. It will take over. Can I get down here? I love that yellow. Just a nice sunny yellow. This is a Salvia. I think it's called Rock and Fuchsia. Just one plant in here, and that's all I would have needed. I would not have needed to plant the Diamond Frost Euphorbia in here. That, you don't really see that. Hummingbirds have loved this plant, and I will definitely repeat this one again. I haven't leave the old stems, not that one will be coming off, but some of the spent ones. I like that burgundy color. Well, let's see if I can catch him here. Oh, there's two fighting. Sorry, didn't mean to bore you. I just think they're absolutely fascinating. And then this little bird feeder here. Oops, the sun kind of shone right there. Kind of pretty though. They like to perch on that. And they're back. Just some dahlias in here. You can see this one's bent. At some point it will probably bust off, but it's doing really good. I've been having lots of blooms, lots of deadheading. Very happy with this kind. I think it's called passion fruit. I bought this from a nursery. I'm going to see if I can overwinter it. I don't know. I'll have to see what kind of a root system it has, if it has tubers. Let's see. I can't believe that they're just hanging around. So I'm going to show you here. You can see the sun is right here. So it starts trekking this way. So everything now gets filtered sunlight. So that's why things are looking the way it is. And I know that happens around this time. But it's just, when this used to be my sun garden, is now kind of partial. And here is the dahlia that I had overwintered just in my garage, just digging up the tubers. I'm glad it was a yellow one. I've been cutting a lot too. This one busted. Absolutely beautiful. I've staked it up. It doesn't look too pretty. It got bigger than what I was expecting. But I have to get out here and cut off some of the spent flowers. It's massive. I'm trying to see. Got my hand here. And I can do this because I have not had an earwig issue. Otherwise, if I'd have earwigs, they'd be falling out on my hand. Huge. I absolutely love this one. So yes, I will be trying to save that one again. It is just loaded. Let's see here. Which way should I go? Oh, I better hit this one. Backtracking here. Just a little quick update. Back here I have the morning glory vine on that obelisk. And then you can see the diamond mountain poking through. Very happy with this container, but there's so much room in that container. So I think that's why the diamond mountain got big and did what it was supposed to do. So these are all just things I'm going to keep in my journal. Maybe next year less containers, but bigger ones. Trailing Vinca. It didn't trail as much as I thought it would, but I have some color still. And then this is the Diamond Cross Euphorbia. I just like it on a container on its own. It looks like I have some that are really laying on the ground. And that doesn't surprise me. That one was vicious. Canary wings. I haven't had to water any of these containers in here except for the dahlia. That takes a lot of water. The chenille plant back there is just loaded with blooms. It was a teeny tiny little plant, so I'm planted a little bit late. Next year I might try and plant it again, and it should be just drooping over the side. Oh, you can hear the cicadas now. I moved these containers. They were on a stand, and it was kind of like an arch, but they're still not blooming, so I'm not sure what their issue is. I have the best luck with Impatiens, but I don't have any luck with New Guinea Impatiens. I just have a hard time keeping them blooming. And I got them because they were on clearance, and my niece really liked them, so I'm hoping I get some blooms here. Canary wing begonias. I'm wondering if I could take some cuttings of those and get them to root. I'm going to try a lot of things. See if I can cut back some expense next year. This begonia is loving its life here. This is one of my favorite ones. I have this planted in that hanging pot over there, but this is all on its own. You can just see it's doing so much better. And again, I haven't had to water this one either. Just fertilize. I love the peachy color that's on the outside and then the yellow inside. Polka dot plant, I keep pinching that to manage its size. That is a fast grower. Turn you around here so you don't get dizzy. This pot was taken over by the coleus, and that's okay. I had aphid issues. That's a gorgeous plant on its own. You can see the canna back there. It's struggling a little bit. I don't think I would have needed the canna. Let me know what you think. And then the fuchsia is bouncing back. These have blooming like crazy. These I bought from a nursery. They were cheap. I couldn't go wrong. Starting to yellow a little bit, but again, our temps, it's been a weird year. I'm gonna try and overwinter that. I had started that indoors early. The elephant ear. It has a new leaf back there and another one, but that'll be slowing down too. That's okay, I'm kind of slowing down too. This is my favorite container. So the Persian shield is massive. You can see the difference when there's bug damage and no bug damage. Love that one. And then also the fuchsia down here is just crazy. And it's been blooming for me. So there's something about this container that all these plants are loving, and it probably was just the fact that no aphids. And then this is a canna that it's Pretoria, and it's starting to bloom. And I liked it because it was playing off all the colors in this pot, with the lime greens, the rust, the purples. But I just don't know if I'm caring for that huge upright feature. And then this. Now this is a big pot on its own. I would say right here is probably 5 feet. It is raised, but still pretty. I love those colors. Those are my favorite colors. And these are Verbena down here that I had in a container around the Brugmansia, and they got shaded out. They were turning yellow, not doing good. Moved them, and they love their life here. Granted, they're not in a container, they're in the ground, but just making sure I hit on them. Wax begonia and the cute little kitty here. You really like that. I never know what to plant in him, and this really turned out this year. All the marigolds just broke off, so they all came out. Still have some color, I have some yellowing. I am just surprised it's looking good. I was a little nervous. Yeah, driving home, I love thunderstorms, but driving home in it, that was quite the lightning show. It was coming straight down. It was blinding. I was a little nervous. On here, I have a Mina lobata, Spanish flag vine, and then a mandevilla. The Spanish flag I did not plant. It reseeded from last year, from the plant that I grew over winter. Unfortunately, when this tipped over, you can see part of it's drooping. It's going to brown. It's just going to look horrible. It pulled out of the ground. I tried to replant it. I just don't think it's going to do it. The other one is still okay. But so yes, it did reseed in my very, very, very cold climate. Go this way quick. He's on the ground because when it fell over, he got stuck on this obelisk, and I was having an issue, so I just left him there till I can get him back up. But this obelisk actually held up the arch, so it prevented the arch from landing on all of my flowers. So thank you, little dude. that was nice. Lantana, I won't plant Lantana again. If I can guarantee that I'm going to have a hot year, yes, but it wasn't. I've really had to trim it up. It is blooming, but just not doing what I wanted it to do. It is really neat though. This is what it did. I mean, everything's kind of broken in here. I'll hit on a garden tour. It's just a shame. Black-eyed Susan vine. You can see it's starting to change color. It did what I wanted it to do this year. I think though, if I plant another variety, I would probably plant one like this color, because it's a strong, strong color. Whereas this one is just a little too washed out for me. It's almost like you need to pair it with something else to, a blue would be pretty. If I can get in here. I'm hoping I'm showing you every container. Back here is Brugmansia, and I'm not even going to go back there because I can't get through. But I do have a flower blooming. I've had a number of them. You can see the spent ones there. That's massive. Popcorn plant. Had to stake it up. This is a really messy area. Less next year, definitely. Okay, I'm trying to back out of here without tripping over my fish. I've named her Wanda. I love the Gomphrena, but again, it's kind of a little mess back there. I call this my very wild, I don't know, area. Butterflies, bees, hummingbirds love it, so I guess it works. It looks really messy right now. Oh, I almost tripped over my dragonfly. And then this one, I think it got drowned out. This is the Vinca. One day it was looking good, and the next day I came out, and that was after a rain, and it looks like this. But it is trailing the way I wanted it to trail, on the plus side. Okay, backing out slowly. Datura, I have some trimming up, but I had sprayed it with Rosor X because the bugs seemed to like this, and it bounced back, flushed out new growth, blossoms. Love this. I almost prefer it over the Brugmansia. Plus, I started by seed, so way cheaper. If I would let these go, they would form these big, kind of nubby seed heads. They're really neat, but I still want it to flower. This has been my favorite Gomphrena. That I had gotten from Select Seeds, the plants, And I love the tallness, airiness. It looks really cottagey. I love how the black-eyed Susan vine is kind of poking through everywhere. It's even climbing into my lilac. And I'm letting it. I love the pop of color. I'll clean it up in the fall. It's even climbing on my arch. But yeah, I really like this a lot. The portulaca is being taken over by the sweet potato vine, but at this point, I'm okay. We're not getting a whole lot of sun for it to do its thing. You can say it has blossoms, but the sun has to be out for it to be open. This is Verbena bonariensis. I like it. It's starting to come to an end. I've been deadheading it to promote more blossoms, but I liked it because it was really purple at one point, and then the hydrangeas were like that creamy white. You could really see it. And a sweet potato vine. All of these were bothered by bugs, or I shouldn't say bugs, caterpillars. Sprayed them, and then they really did good. I'm hoping this tour didn't get too long. Like I said, the last one I filmed, that was quite lengthy. It is a shame because my Mina labata is blooming. And it's going to be yucky looking once all of that starts browning. And then you can see the vine, Black-Eyed Susan. Love this color. Now I could see that over here. I think it's just because of the yellow is so pale, it kind of blends in with the foliage. But it looks better once the sun is hitting it. I just can't believe how tall the Brugmansia got. I'm just trying to figure out how to overwinter that. So yeah, that's what my pots look like. I would have loved to have done a tour about the beginning of August. Things looked really good. I was just having the remodel done and it was just complete chaos. So, but I still think things look pretty good considering. So hopefully you enjoyed this tour and it wasn't too long, and bye for now.